In 1815, Edmond Dantes, a young merchant sailor, returns to Marseille to marry his Catalan fiancée Mercedes. He brings in the ship Pharaon to the owner, M. Morel. As his captain Leclerc died on the passage, Morel will make Dantes the next captain. His return is the same day that Napoleon has escaped his exile on the island of Elba, unknown to Edmond Dantes, which leads to Napoleon's 100 days restored as emperor. Leclerc, a supporter of the exiled Napoleon, was dying at sea and charged Dantes to deliver two objects, a package to General Bertrand, exiled with Napoleon on Elba, and a letter from Elba to an unknown man in Paris. On the eve of Dantes' wedding to Mercedes, Fernand Mondego, Mercedes' cousin and a rival for her affections, is given advice by Dantes' colleague Danglars, who is jealous of Dantes' rapid rise to captain, to send an anonymous note accusing Dantes of being a Bonapartist traitor. Kate Rouse, Dantes' cowardly and selfish neighbor, is drunk while the two conspirators set the trap for Dantes and stays quiet as Dantes is arrested, then sentenced. Villefort, the deputy crown prosecutor in Marseille, destroys the letter from Elba when he discovers that it is addressed to his own father, Noirtier, who is a Bonapartist. If this letter came into official hands, it would destroy Villefort's ambitions and reputation as a staunch royalist. To silence Dantes, he condemns him without trial to life imprisonment. Villefort resists all appeals by Morel to release him, during the 100 days and once the king is restored to rule France. Château d'If, Marseille. After 6 years of solitary imprisonment in the Château d'If, Dantes is on the verge of suicide when he befriends the Abbé Faria, the mad priest, an Italian fellow prisoner who had dug an escape tunnel that ended up in Dantes' cell. Over the next 8 years, Faria gives Dantes an extensive education in languages, culture, mathematics, chemistry, medicine, and science. Knowing himself to be close to death, Faria tells Dantes the location of a treasure on the small island of Monte Cristo, which is his own inheritance from his work for the last of the Spadot family. He bequeaths it to Dantes. When Faria dies, Dantes takes his place in the burial sack, holding the knife that Faria had made. When the guards throw the sack into the sea, Dantes breaks through using the knife and swims to a nearby island. He is rescued by a smuggling ship that passes Monte Cristo. Fearing the members of the ship will find him and his treasure, he uses the excuse of hunting goats while he goes to hunt the treasure. To stay on the island, to find his treasure, not yet found, Dantes pretends he has a broken back. 6 days later, the smuggling ship comes back for him and he boards it carrying with him a few carefully hidden diamonds. In port, Dantes trades these diamonds for a yacht and then sails to Monte Cristo again to claim the rest of his treasure. After recovering the treasure, Dantes returns to Marseille. He later purchases the island of Monte Cristo and the title of Count from the Tuscan government. Traveling as the Abbé Busoni, Dantes meets Kate Rouse, now married and living in poverty, who regrets not intervening and possibly saving Dantes from prison. Kate Rouse tells him about the two who wrote the letter against him, about his father's death, and about Mercedes. He gives Kate Rouse a diamond that can be either a chance to redeem himself or a trap that will lead to his ruin. Learning that his old employer Morel is on the verge of bankruptcy, Dantes, as clerk of Thompson and French, buys Morel's debts and gives Morel 3 months to fulfill his obligations. At the end of the 3 months and with no way to repay his debts, Morel is about to commit suicide when he learns that his debts have been mysteriously paid and that one of his lost ships has returned with a full cargo, secretly rebuilt and laden by Dantes.